We know so few things about everything that surrounds us that we could be surprised when we find out the truth. Here are 33 more amazing truths about our world. Number 1. More fast food employees were killed at work in 1998 than police officers. On average, 4 to 5 fast food employees are killed each month, usually during robberies, as the fast food industry heavily relies on cash transactions and most restaurants have large sums of money on hand at any given time. Number 2. Women with cosmetic breast implants are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than other women and are also 3 times more likely to die from alcohol and drug consumption. Why? Researchers suspect that many of these women already had pre-existing body image and self-esteem issues before opting for implants. Number 3. English teenager Natalie Cooper cannot consume anything other than Tic Tac pills and vomits anything else she tries to ingest. Cooper must be fed a special formula through a tube to her stomach to survive. Number 4. In 2008, Jersey City, New Jersey Councilman Stephen Lipsky, who was under the influence of alcohol, was arrested in Washington, D.C. after urinating from the balcony of a nightclub onto onlookers watching a Grateful Dead cover band. Number 5. In a presidential debate in October 2008, Joe the Plumber was mentioned 26 times, while more serious campaign issues like the troubled U.S. economy and Iraq were mentioned only 16 and 6 times, respectively. Number 6. 6-year-old Bennett Christensen made headlines in 2008 when he was approved for his first credit card. Bank of America granted Christensen a $600 credit limit even after he provided his real date of birth and listed his true income as $0 on the credit card application. Number 7. When Shanta Dargbay's ex-boyfriend chose to go to prom with someone else in 2008, the New Jersey teenager set his house on fire, completely destroying it. Number 8. In 2008, a 50-year-old Saudi Arabian woman asked for a divorce after her husband lifted her veil to see her face while she was sleeping. She had hidden her face from him for 30 years. Number 9. In January 2008, domestic violence expert Dean Tong was arrested for assaulting his wife. This was his 3rd arrest and the 2nd involving domestic violence. Number 10. A retired California teacher admits to having taught high school for 17 years without knowing how to read or write. Number 11. A man came close to dying at the security checkpoint of the Nuremberg airport in 2007 after drinking an entire liter of vodka instead of surrendering it before boarding the plane. The man became severely intoxicated and had to be taken to the hospital and treated for alcohol poisoning. Number 12. In 2004, a woman from Syracuse, New York, needed emergency surgery and hospitalization after a fragment from a dentist's tool flew and lodged near her eye. At the time of the accident, her dentist was dancing to the song Car Wash on the radio. Later, the patient sued the dentist for over $500,000. Number 13. A California dentist, Dr. Mark Anderson, was accused in 2007 of fondling the breasts of 27 patients. While he claimed these chest massages were an effective treatment for TMJ, Anderson was later convicted of 11 counts of serious sexual assault. Number 14. In 2004, a man from New York was nearly arrested in Times Square for doing nothing. A police officer charged Matthew Jones with disorderly conduct because several passers-by in the area had to walk around him. Jones maintained he was just standing still and talking to his friends. Number 15. A woman in Pennsylvania was fined for disorderly conduct in 2008 for swearing at an overflowing toilet. An off-duty police officer who lived nearby was offended by the language used. Number 16. A Nevada couple was charged with child neglect in 2007 after their children became malnourished while the couple played online video games for days on end. Their 11-month-old daughter's hair was so matted it had to be shaved off, and their 22-month-old son had difficulty walking due to lack of muscle development. Number 17. In 2005, a 57-year-old British woman gave birth to her own granddaughter, a child conceived using an egg donated by her 27-year-old daughter. Number 18. In 2007, a British climber reached the summit of Mount Everest but ran out of oxygen during the descent. Up to 40 climbers passed by the agonizing man, unwilling to risk their own oxygen to help him. Number 19. In 2006, Claude Allen, a former domestic policy advisor to President George Bush, was charged with stealing $5,000 worth of goods from various stores in the Washington, D.C. area. Number 20. A former American soldier who was injured in Iraq received a bill for his bloodied body armor, which was discarded as biohazard waste. The man, who left the military due to his injuries, had to borrow $700 from friends to pay the bill before being discharged from service. Number 21. Millionaire David Peitzer arranged to have his body frozen in liquid nitrogen upon his death, hoping to be revived someday. Peitzer left his entire fortune solely to himself. Number 22. A French woman who survived the first face transplant in history in 2006 started smoking again once she regained sensation in her mouth and lips. Number 23. In 2006, a 41-year-old British woman married what she called the love of my life, a male dolphin named Cindy. She had first met Cindy 15 years earlier and said it was love at first sight. Number 24. To combat loneliness, a Navy wife from Georgia bought a mannequin dressed as a sailor in 2005 to stand in for her husband, who was at sea. She takes the mannequin to dinner, movies, and shopping. Number 25. One of the leading causes of divorce among middle-aged couples in Japan is the retired husband syndrome. Doctors first described this syndrome when wives began exhibiting irritability, ulcers, rashes, and other stress symptoms when they had to manage their recently retired husbands, who had nothing to do all day but give them orders. Number 26. A bullet wound to the leg didn't stop a pizza delivery man in Tampa, Florida, from finishing his routes in 2005. Thomas Stefanelli's dedication to work led him to deliver 4 more pizzas before seeking help after being shot during a robbery attempt. Number 27. Researchers at Purdue University claim that most drivers have no problem exceeding the speed limit by up to 20 miles per hour and see no danger in doing so. Number 28. Trichotillomania is a behavioral disorder that causes people to pull out their own hair, plucking it from their scalp, eyebrows, eyelashes, and more, resulting in bald patches. This condition affects up to 9 million Americans. 90% of those affected adults are women. Number 29. Chronic skin picking, CSP, is a serious human behavioral issue, largely misunderstood. Individuals affected by CSP obsessively pick, scratch, and rub their skin, often trying to remove perceived minor irregularities or imperfections. This behavior can lead to skin discoloration, scarring, or even severe tissue damage. Number 30. People suffering from borderline personality disorder, BPD, face emotional instability, turbulent personal relationships, and an inability to control their emotions and impulses. BPD affects up to 10% of all patients in psychiatric care. Number 31. Foreign accent syndrome, FAS, is an extremely rare neurological disorder that causes patients to involuntarily speak with a foreign accent. This condition results from trauma affecting the brain area responsible for speech control. Number 32. The rare neurological disorder called alien hand syndrome, AHS, causes the affected person's hand to move independently without their control over the action. People with AHS can hit or choke themselves and tear their clothes without intending to, sometimes having to use their healthy hand to control the alien one. This condition commonly arises after brain injuries, brain surgeries, or strokes. Number 33. The Bible is the most stolen book. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.